Just function testing everything.
Well, let me turn you up.
All right. Looks clean.
There you go. I turned it up. You switched your microphone.
Yeah, I switched over to using my laptop.
Yeah, this one's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's it's not direct.
My speaker's so loud that I have you on like 1%.
Oh wow. All right. Anyhow, so the topic is really about making this transition. You'd shared in the past about your various work experiences and how your background, you'd always been interested in programming. And I'm curious that transition for you, how you ended up inside of your first tech job.
Well, contract work I've been doing for a very long time, and honestly, that just came about because I wanted to learn things. I would go do freelance contracts that I didn't know at all, ask for a very low wage. I mean, yeah, it would take me forever to figure it out, but I would just learn how to do it, and then I could use it in the future. My first corporate job is the one that I have currently, and that was a huge transition. There's so much, fodder in the corporate world, meetings and all this documentation that you don't see when you're doing contract work.
Yeah, for sure. So if I'm understanding correctly, then when you'd already established some stability, at that point you began taking up the contract work.
It wasn't even stability, because I was still working other jobs and making money and working full-time, like warehouse and manufacturing jobs. But I think it was the confidence level. The more you do in that field, the more confidence you gain. And like college, for example, you go there to gain the confidence in that field. It doesn't necessarily mean you know what you're talking about. It just, you gain a lot of confidence. I mean, that's not necessarily true for some of the fields like biology, etc. But computer science, you don't learn what you actually have to use. My field's too broad for that. You have to be able to individually study on your own. It's all about the confidence it gives you.
Okay. Yeah, so you were working full-time, and then you began finding some additional work, freelance work.
Essentially, yeah.
So you would just go to like the freelancing websites and see what was out there.
Well, freelancing websites, and I've been doing programming for a long time, so people have seen my work. They'll come to me directly. That kind of stuff. And actually, I made a lot more money with people that came to me directly.
Yeah, for sure, because it's already a warm lead. That's somebody who's interested in what you've already built before and is willing to.
Yeah, I got paid $100 to port forward a router one time. It was great.
Oh, nice. So where did you put up your work such that people were finding you?
So back in those days, it was mostly forums. I didn't really use Reddit or anything like that. I was around 2008-ish, 10 years ago. I was doing the whole RuneScape private server scene. So just to note, I'm 12 at this point. Doing RuneScape private server, Java programming, obviously putting up server code and that kind of stuff. I was part of forums that no longer exist, like phgaming.com, fagex.net, so fagex.net. That's a play on JJX, the owners of RuneScape. Part of Rune Server, which I think they're still around, and Rune Locust, I think they're still around. And I would just put my work up.
We're getting some audio feedback. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, let me fix that 1 second.
Must be his mic.
Yeah, I'm just switching to headphones.
Oh, okay.
All right, how's that sound?
Now it's clean.
Perfect. Yeah, I just switched over from my speaker to my headphones, so now I should come through pretty clear.
Okay.
Yeah, but continuing, yeah, I was on all these different sites and doing all this stuff. People saw me, and I still have contacts from that world, but a lot of these sites are gone. And I mean, I was part of, what is it? I think RuneBot or something like that, and Rune HQ, and Rune HQ was a guide site. But I was part of all these different sites. People saw my work and they were interested. I used to sell scripts for the RuneScape bots, and this is 2008 when I really got into like let me show my work. Oh, you want to pay me for this? Awesome. And people in that community, they have no standards.
No.
And by that, I mean they don't know what real software engineering looks like.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, but it's oftentimes if it works, then that's good enough.
Well, exactly. And I don't know how familiar you are with the private server scene, but like private servers that are based off WoW, RuneScape, and etc., they have the ability to make you $1 million. And actually, RuneScape, which is owned by JJX, they've changed their whole mantra a whole lot. They've actually bought several private servers, and now they have, I don't know how they split it up, but RuneScape 3 is actually like split up into a different mantra of games. So they've actually embraced it after so long. I guess half their community has come from private servers.
Gotcha.
But that's like how I built my contact base, and I still have people that I know from then. And you're talking, this is 10 years ago. They're still talking to me.
I see. Yeah, so it was just like your presence inside of the RuneScape community that helped you. By immersing yourself inside of it, you were able to spot some opportunities to code, and you took those.
Yeah, I wanted, like, it was silly. I just wanted my own server, and then you start posting and people start talking to you, and I can't fucking write Java for the life of me right now, but I was writing it every day back then.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, they're talking about I get $50 here, $100 there. It wasn't like life changing. I would use it to pay for like a server, a membership to a game, a new game, computer part. It wasn't like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, a lot of the money in that community at the time, at least that we saw, was the botting. Everybody was selling $1 million gold for a couple bucks, and
right.
Then I know people who bought cars and stuff off that.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, anything that's repetitive, people are going to want to automate it.
Well, I mean, that was also, I believe, around the same time, everybody was like, oh, look at this WoW gold farmer who sells gold and makes money.
Right.
Why is your IQ 188, Yeti?
It's not. I mean, even if it is like high, I'm not earning right now, and in fact, I'm looking to get back into the workforce, but I have really got no idea where I'm going to try and stake a claim. I have no idea. Right now,
I'm working on getting out of the workforce, so we're working in opposite directions.
Well, I thought that you were looking into Berkshire Hathaway.
So yeah, I've been talking to them for a while. I'm waiting for them to get back to me. But even still, I hit everything from both ends. Right now, we're looking at increasing our passive income and then lowering our monthly expenses. So we just rented out one of the rooms in my house for $400 a month. That's an extra $400 every month that I'll have, which comes out to what, $6,000 a year or something like that. 4 times 12, $4,800 a year. That's right. So, I mean, we were originally talking about renting it for $500 a month, which comes out to $6,000 a year. So that's a little bit of extra passive money. It's nothing huge. And then we're looking at renting out my garage that I have for $300 a month. That's an extra $3,600. I mean, well, give my terrible math, whatever. Extra money a year, and it leads almost to 10 grand right there. Then we're looking by next year to have 40 in the bank to. I mean, I haven't listed all the other things, but we're looking to have 40 in the bank to go get a rental property and increase our passive income that way. That's where I'm at with some of the passive income stuff. But I'm also looking at writing a book because there's so much that I have to give. I just have the trouble of writing it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely takes time to put together a book.
It's not that I don't have the content. I just don't know how to lay it out and write it all down.
No. If I might, just beginning with an outline is always helpful.
I've got several. I think we discussed this before. I've actually thrown away like 100-page books that I started and then I just didn't like, and etc. It's all about that fear that where you feel like you don't know what you're talking about even though you do.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm surprised you're not making more passive income though. You have a pretty strong follower base. Your Discord's always active.
Uh-oh.
I'm really shocked that you're not making passive, like even just selling ads or something.
Yeah, I think your mic was freaking out. It's because I don't really sell anything through Yeti Eater, you know?
You should have like some kind of project that you get people to back you with. Like I don't know exactly, but you'd be a great motivational person. Like, come buy my book. This is all these things that I do, etc.
Yeah, the trouble is right now, even if I want to do that, I have no stability. I have no base, you know? And that's the problem I need to solve right now is finding some rewarding work, something that's going to keep me challenged and allow me to continue developing skills on the job while getting compensated well enough for my time. You know, something I want to stick with for a bit, and then continue doing all of this on the side. But I've been talking with some folks recently, like my uncle, and he's been really encouraging me just to pull everything, like make Yeti Eater disappear, make all of the writing I've done personally, just anything that could hurt me from a employment standpoint, disappear. He's like, yeah, you know, if you're disciplined about it, you might knock that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, employers are in the corporate world, so they look at everything so much differently, and they would probably tell you the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, and it's man, but I don't even know where to go about rebooting my life and my career. You know, I just know that it's something I've got to do because if I don't, I'm gonna end up completely broke. Like I was freaking out about 2 months ago, just under 2 months ago, I was freaking out, and now it's a little bit more. You know, because time has passed again.
Time's a bitch, Yeti. Time's a bitch.
We all get the same amount. I just haven't been really effective in my use of it, and it's gonna come back to bite me. It's doing it right now.
I mean, the thing about like sites that I've owned, you should be able to pop one up in a month, get some traffic to it, and be able to rent it out, you know, for a couple $100 a month extra. You just have the time to do it. I mean, you have the time to do something like that. If you, I don't know, start a site about dogs, write articles about dogs, people go to that site, you can sell that ad space to local kennels and make a couple hundred extra bucks a month.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you there. I understand that the internet's still a good place to make money, and it does take quite a bit of effort. It takes quite a bit of effort to build these things up. You know,
I mean, if you're ballsy, you just go buy a case of water and start selling them outside of a stadium. But
yeah,
there's tons of ways to go make some quick cash.
yeah. This is true. That's really where my thinking is right now. It's like, okay, I've got to shore up my cash position. I need to, and ideally do it in a way that's it's going to be something I can stick with for the long run.
The issue that most people have with making money is they want all the money right now, right here. It's a trickle until it's a waterfall. It slowly has to exponentially build. I mean, as I said, I don't know exactly what you're looking for. But maybe a part-time job would help you out, or whatnot. I mean, where I'm at, it's much further along. But you might want to look at, like, if you're going to do projects, something that's going to make you some passive income, even if it's $1 a day, $1 a day. So that's 30 so dollars a month. That's $360 a year. That's nothing. But if you can make $1 a day, you can make $10 a day.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. No, I mean my immediate needs are more important. I've got to start building up a base. Like if I have no foundation, then I feel like I can't focus on these longer term projects, you know?
Well, I'm not even saying that this is a longer term project. Like, look at Enam View. We were online for a week, and then we had major people talking to us. It wasn't anything crazy. We just had people come to the site, and we literally just used, I believe, Reddit, Facebook, etc. And I was one of those people who came to the site.
You have any ideas as far as picking up temporary work?
Temporary work. If I'm in a bind for work, I would, if you have spare time, just hop on over to McDonald's or Walmart. That'll get you a job immediately until you find something a little bit more stable, because they're always hiring. I mean, we also have Amazon out here now, and they're always hiring. I mean, temporary work, real quick, they'll always hire you, even if you walk out. So it's like, oh, just go get a job until I figure out what my situation is. It's one of those things that it sucks, in my opinion, but if you got to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it sucks. It's not something you want to stick with long term. That's, in a word, it's temporary.
I mean, you also own that house too. Like, I don't know how many bedrooms you have, but like, you can rent out rooms and get roommates, and then you won't have to work because you own the house.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. It's just then you lose privacy. You lose. For instance, last night I'm sitting over here after taking a shower, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stay naked and write for a little bit, and then go sleep. That's what I did.
I never said you couldn't stay naked. Just tell them it's part of their lease contract. You're allowed to be naked wherever.
Shit, I suppose.
And yet, what do you mean you don't get privacy? You're on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If I'm trying to get back into the corporate world, then I need to, like, I'm gonna, dude, I don't even know where to start. Like, there's so much stuff that I've done with Yeti Eater that I feel pretty good about, but fuck, everybody looks at things differently. So it's like, it's best, if you're going corporate, it's best just to give them nothing to look at.
It's all about the fast game. Oh, getting a phone call. Hold up.
Yeah. Facades. Just put up a nice headshot.
Hello, this is Jonathan.
temporary jobs.
Oh, that was an interesting phone call.
Your mic's freaking out again.
How's it sound?
It's fine. It's just sometimes it goes and crackles.
It's probably because like I'm still doing push to talk.
Huh. I really wonder. Anyways, no big.
Yeah, so I just got off the phone with a recruiter, and he's like, yeah, so these guys turned you down for the job. And I'm like, oh, so why? And they're like, you haven't written a book yet. Oh, that got me. Wow. I'm not even kidding. That's what they told me.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
I mean, it was for 120 a year, so.
Yeah. I mean, this is where I'm trying to get myself to. Get up to the point where I can, make 10 grand a month. And what type of skill sets what type of skills? It was your programming chops, right?
Explain further?
For that job, that was, where was that?
Oh yeah, that was 100% programming.
Yeah. I need to somehow channel what I've got right now. The skill sets I presently have. Damn. I need to better articulate what I'm working with. But Johnny, I'm kind of scared, man. Like
it's all right to be scared. I've been there where I don't have anything, so at least you still have your house. Just think of all the positives. As long as you own that house, I'm telling you, you may lose privacy. Freaking out again. But if you, oh, is it? Hold on, let me take a look at my settings real quick.
Sure.
All right, let's change that to voice activity. How's that sound? Better?
Yeah, right now it's fine.
I think it was the push to talk. I really think. It could also be I'll turn, hold on. I'm surprised it's cutting out. That's really weird.
Yeah.
I was just reading your Twitch chat.
Yeah, artificial intelligence has been building up a marketing company, and I'm still like keeping open to the possibility. I'm also trying to figure out if there's something I can do locally, but it's really the longer term thinking too. Like
let me tell you a story that I'm jealous of. So I know a guy who started like his company the same time you got started.
Your mic just started freaking out.
Sure, it's not your end. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm positive.
Let me take this off. Take my filter off.
Try and mute. Johnny, go ahead and try and mute.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, wait, now it stopped. What the fuck?
Am I good now? Or did it break? Did I break everything?
No, nothing's broken. Now everything's
I broke it all. Let me try. Alright, hold on. Let's go back to push. I turned off noise cancellation and echo suppression on Discord.
Yeah, I mean, now we can definitely hear the noise, but it's whatever. I mean, it could be my end. I could just try picking up this call over one of my phones,
let me just try my laptop. Let's see how that sounds. I'll be right back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm on my laptop now. It should sound a little bit better.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Oh, anyway, back on topic. Let's just go to EU real quick. Have this on my side so I don't have everything set up that I had on. Oh no, I'm still in your donation box here. $5. I'm rich.
Yeah, you're awesome, man.
That's me right there. I'm right below J Baggy. Baggy.
Yeah. Anyhow, this.
So I think I was talking about this story. So there was a guy who started up a company right around the time we started up EnomView with nothing. Had absolutely nothing. Took it, and then right now he's making so much money that he's going to fly out his entire team. I think he's got like 20 people across the ocean to some event over here next year. Or actually, I think it's this year now. But all he's doing is taking a percentage of contract work. So he's finding the work under one name. He's saying it's his company. Then he's assigning it to the people that work for him, and then he takes a percentage, and then they get paid. And he always gets paid no matter what. That's how he has it worked on their contract.
Yeah. I mean, it's leveraging other people.
Yeah, but now he's making more money than I am, and he started a couple months ago, essentially.
Right, because what he has is a scalable business.
Yep. And it's not even that complex.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be very complex. See, this is the thing that's like really getting me right now is I know I've got some skills. I'm a pretty damn good generalist, right? I can do a bunch of different shit. But that makes it tough it's tough. I don't even know what type of title to shoot for, you know? Like, I have no idea. So I can spend...
It's all about that confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I can spend ages looking through job boards and, just end up nowhere at the end of it. It's quite frustrating.
I mean, I always shoot for the senior title. However, it's like all the job terms are relevant because I could be doing the same work I'm doing now, get paid double at another company, but I won't know until I apply for that company. I mean, because it's all relative to that company. Senior may mean a whole different thing to that company. So it's like, sure. I just apply for the biggest and the best thing and try to get it. And it's worked out so far for me.
Yeah. I mean, for you, it's at some point, like, you go in and then if you can show your portfolio, what you've done, then you're golden. It's a benefit. The benefit of having these, like, the projects like you've done. They're...
Yeah, and I have to clean that whole thing up. You saw I was trying to redo my site. I just didn't have time, and then I'm just too lazy this week.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing that's slowing me down in my pursuit of money. I'm just too lazy right now.
Maybe I'm the same way. Maybe I'm just too lazy.
I mean, I've had the best luck making money with, selling ad spots and that kind of stuff. Because honestly, you can pop a site up and then just, sell an ad spot $300 to somebody who has a relevant business.
Yeah.
$300 a month. That's not 300 one time. That's a month.
Yeah, I hear you.
My favorite thing that I've been thinking about popping up is a top list. A buddy of mine used to own one, and he would rent out to 3 or 4 people a month for like $150 each. Be like, oh, you get a star, so you're at the top of the top list, or you get this side banner, etc. And he ran that for a couple of years until he sold it for, I think, $5 or $6 grand.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of ways to make money on the internet. Oh man. I'm still trying to take my time and turn it into money, just because, again, that's the thing I need is to build up the stable base. Otherwise it's like right now I have too much insecurity to go in. Like I feel so insecure about going off and trying to build something because if it fails, it takes me with it,
Well, the thing is, once you hit rock bottom, the only place to go is up.
Yeah, but I'm trying to just say, like, declare that this is rock bottom. Because you know, it's this is as close as I want to hit, dude. I've hit lower. I'm pretty sure I've hit lower before, but I don't want to hit. I don't want to do that again. I just need to pull up right the fuck now. And,
I mean, you have to ask yourself though, Yeti. Like, you can end up in a situation where, like me, I have a lot of stuff in right now, but I'm actually trying to get out of the workforce and build more passively because I've got myself into a financial bracket where I make too much money working to just pull myself out, and then I'm trying to do passive, and yeah, I have the money, but I don't have the time. Or
yeah, well, that's where you take a page
time into a project and get somewhere with that project, and then you don't got to worry about working.
Yeah, I mean, for you though, that's where you take a page out of that other guy's book, the one who has like the 20 people he's flying out, right? And you gotta start leveraging other people's time. You know, this is like going back to
trying to do for sure.
Yeah, this goes back to where you were when you were just picking up projects, freelancing projects. You find yourself freelancers, and artificial intelligence has talked about this a lot in chat. He's talked about building up virtual assistants to handle the work. As long as you describe it, you know, you're very clear about the specifications of what you're looking for and how much time you're willing to pay them for. They'll produce something, right? And it might need some polishing, but it's something. Because you actually have the stable income with which you can go and create, go and leverage.
You write me a good project plan and I'll fund you. I'll give you some money.
I don't even, like, at this point, I just need...
I'll fund your project. How about that?
Yeah, you know, in time, right? Because I have a lot of things that I want to get moving. It's just like shit. Right now, I need to have something. I need to have something coming in on a regular basis that I can just, okay, well, look, I'm going to put a few hours here and get compensated for it. And you know, like, I'm thinking here about even just going full time, right? Taking full-time job like you've got, but I don't want to end up in the state of underemployment, because that's terrible. So there's some sweet spot. The sweet spot of okay, you've got some qualifications that it's going to work out for you. You can get the gig, and then you're going to require some on-the-job training.
The corporate environment's going to swallow you up because they're going to be like, you're fresh out of college, you ain't got no experience. They're going to do that.
I mean, I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science Petroleum Engineering back in 2011, you know, and...
Yeah, but have you had a job doing that since then? So it's like, oh, you're still...
Pretty much, I'm like a fresh guy, you know, I've got like
so that's how they'll treat you. They'll be like, you don't have any... Who cares?
And that's one of the big questions I want to answer. I want to get to the bottom of is like, okay, is that credential worth anything to me right now? You know, if I wanted to get into the oil and gas industry, say if I was willing to throw away everything, scrap all of the Yeti Eater stuff, all of my personal blog stuff, just like pull it all down, you know, and have nothing but just like a professional headshot someplace. Like if I was willing to take such drastic measures, okay, even with that, could I still reasonably expect to get in right now? You know, I want to figure out the answer to that.
It wouldn't be perfect. You'd have to work at it. It could take several months, to be honest.
It could take several months. It
took me a year to get into IT at the company that I'm at now, and then it took me another year almost just to get promoted to the position I'm in now, which is right where I'm supposed to be at.
So, I mean, for you, at the company you're at now, you started in IT, so, like...
No. I started in manufacturing.
You started in manufacturing?
Yeah, that's right. I started on the floor, and I worked my way up. I had all the IT experience. It's just they had no spots, and then they were paying more than some of the IT jobs around here for their manufacturing. It was like $23 an hour or something.
Huh.
So, of course, I worked my way up into IT. It wasn't overnight.
Yeah, so, I mean, and then IT, like, they just decided, okay, hey, maybe you'd be good at IT?
Oh, no, it wasn't anything as simple as that. I literally talked to them every single day for that entire time that I was in manufacturing. I talked to the CIO, I talked to the head of infrastructure, the head of applications, I talked to the guys on the ground floor. I made sure everybody knew who I was so that when they put up a posting, I had a really good shot.
Okay. Yeah, they put up the post, and it was just like you already had the experience because you've been tinkering with systems a long time.
And they already knew they wanted to hire me.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, we really want him, but we don't have the posting, or, because you know how corporate environments work. You got to wait till the fiscal year to get more headcount.
Yeah. So you essentially, like, you kind of urged them to make a position for you, and then boom, eventually a position came about.
Pretty much. I mean, in my mind, it's all about having friends to get where you need to go.
Yeah, it's having friends in the right places helps a lot.
That's why I try to make friends with as many people as I can.
Yeah.
We're usually mutually beneficial.
Yeah, I hear you. I've got a whole bunch of acquaintances and some friends. I've got some friends.
I'd like to shout out to artificial intelligence here. I know that you've been saying rock bottom. I've also hit rock bottom. Yeti actually interviewed me before. I was homeless, and now I'm much further in life.
Yeah.
He can reference the direct link to that.
Good. It's one of the conversations from the hovel.
That was our first chat, I think, actually, on your channel.
Yeah, it was. And then what did we do? We played StarCraft afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. We did play StarCraft. I was drinking after.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild.
But it's definitely all about friends, because I have people who don't know anything that I've worked with. They look and they just have that quote unquote experience and networking.
Yeah, and it's a big part of it, right? They pretty much, like, any job resource I look at talking about going back to work, it's like, okay, you just you gotta network. All right, so you want to take part in these networking events, and you still need to keep the roof over your head, cover all your expenses, and man, I need to figure something out. Right, I have to figure something out.
You gotta work full time, Yeti, but you also have to do stuff on the side, and then attend networking events, and then pay all your bills, and then manage all your other miscellaneous things. And then you have no time, and then at the end of the day, you sleep for 2 hours.
That's everybody. It's not just me. It's everybody. It's like you do that until you get the good paying job in the career path that you want to pursue. And then you hold on to that job, and then you have to keep reinvesting into that job.
Exactly. The difference between rich people and poor people is poor people, like, even though I'm middle class now, I can still consider myself poor. You put all your eggs in one basket. Your job is your only thing. If you lose your job, you're fucked. But
it's not entirely true.
Job.
It's not entirely true. Yes, you find another job because now you've got these skills that are portable, right? It's the skills that you brought over to the organization that helped you get the role in the first place. It's what enabled you to make the money. That trade of time for money.
Yeah, but if you don't do that and you do more passive income based, and you put your eggs into, I don't know how to put this, services that are renewable, that you don't have to put your time for money. You don't have to worry about it. I could lose my job and still get that income. Like, for example, when I ran those sites, all I had to do was keep them up online. I got $300 a month. I didn't care. And that was $300 a month. What could happen? My site could go down? No, I just switch the server. Whereas, like, my job, somebody could just fire me. I mean, with a business, your whole business could catch on fire, get an insurance claim, right? You lose your business. So the same, I mean, you still own that, but, okay, you lost it. That's your source of income. You lost it. But, like, with a passive income, you don't really have to worry about that. Like, if I write a book, I'm always going to have that book.
Yeah, you are always going to have the book, but the book may also lose relevance. So I've been listening to some stuff recently. It talked about the myth of passive income. That, yeah, you can build up a passive income stream, but the game changes on you all the time. Maybe it's Google changing how they prioritize search results. which leads to a reduction in your traffic and
Oh,
subsequently
exactly.
reduction
I
in
mean, it's not
conversions.
perfect, but you don't have to work after you do the work one time. You don't have to do it again. You may have to maintain a couple things and stay up to standard, but you don't have to rewrite that book. You don't have to rewrite that entire website. You just gotta maintain it,
Okay.
or have somebody else maintain it.
Consider the one really big hey, let me help you find a job book. What color is your parachute? It's revised every single year. You know.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to go rewrite it, right?
No,
so
it's not a comprehensive rewrite, but it's revised to keep up with the market. There's no truly hands off that's going to continue at that point. If you don't touch it, and I've seen it too with my own writing, like technical writing that I threw up on my personal website that was generating some affiliate sales for a while. Over time, it started declining, and the reason why is because the only thing I had was text. I had this article thrown up, and it made like a couple $1,000s maybe, right, over a period of like a couple of years. And I spent some time to do a rewrite once, and played around with some A/B split testing on it just to see how it would convert. But over time, it died, and a lot of this I attribute to the fact that so many new players came into the space, and they were able to muscle me out from my search position.
it's also about how much money you have, how much you're making. You might have been like fucked on the business side, so you might have had a bad contract. So like if you were, I don't know how you're making the money, but if you didn't have a contract that was locked in for 6 months at a rate, that sucks. But that can also be a bad thing depending on what kind of site you're running. For a couple top lists that I've helped with, the best way was if the site's growing, 1 month contracts. You're locked in at this rate for 1 month. But if you know your site's, fluctuating, we'll do 150 for 3 months or a year. That's fine. They give the benefit because if you do grow, you're kind of screwed, but you're still getting your 150. But if you shrink down to nothing, they still got to pay you 150 a month.
Ideally with the sites, I think that if you're going to employ banner ads, you want to use them to keep people on the site and sell them your own merchandise.
Well, not even banner ads. There are other types of advertisements. For top listing example, you might not be selling a banner ad. You might be selling that top spot. Like it might not be on your numbered top list, but it'll be like a star at the first one. It'll be like an advertised server at the top. So it's relevant content. So I mean, it still stays on your site, but they get that bonus of, oh, hey, we're at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're not selling to redirect to some crappy site you don't know what has the content of. I mean, and it works really well. There's other sites that do things like that. Yeah. Like, pay me money and I'll promote your brand as the one to buy first, etc.
Yeah, for sure. But those, I mean, ultimately, I think you lose people's, like they see through it. People know that you're being sponsored by brand X and that you're always pushing brand X's products. They know that you're not giving the other brands Y and Z a fair run for the money because you lack objectivity.
Do you do it when you Google search?
Say again?
Do you notice it when you Google search? Because Google does it.
It's all about people's willingness to bid. It's all their CPC rates.
Yeah, that's debatable because you can view an enterprise contract with Google where yours is always at the top.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't studied their contracts, but my understanding was it was always CPC rates. People can bid to reach the top, and it costs you quite a bit depending on what keywords you're working with.
I've dealt with that too, but there's all different ways to do that kind of work, and you can make it so that it's with your user experience that people aren't going to notice that that's an ad spot. And that actually works out both for not only the people you're selling that ad spot to, but it works out for your customer too, because they're going to look through the first 5-10 results if you're only selling the first one. And plus, if they have the money to pay you for the top spot, they probably are doing it other places too. So they're probably going to be the top spot in a lot of places.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude, I'm still at a loss as far as the trading time for value, because I know I need to do it. I want to have something where I can just hold on to it and take it places. Like it would if I have to, I've already begun looking into, like, last night I was talking with Defi, and I told him that maybe I'd go look for, my first thought was, okay, go look for work inside of a retail. I'm gonna go and work at a fucking Home Depot or Lowe's, you know?
Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah, and just like do whatever is needed and more or less keep it full time, and that's enough to keep myself afloat for the next while. And you know, like while I'm working there, then I can. I don't even know. That's the thing. As far as like the traditional career path, I don't even, dude. There's so many. God damn, it sucks in a way. It's like having too many options leads to the decision paralysis, and I've been like just holding myself, trying to figure out where the hell I want to head in life. Because the image of success for us, it all looks more or less the same, right? We want the time, freedom, and the money. But it's like, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I just don't see you working a Home Depot job. You've already got the picture in play. You need to just actually get it out and start working on it. You know what you have to do, Yeti. You just have to do it. That's all.
Sorry, on what? What's the picture?
You know what you have to do and how to do it. You just have to do it.
It's I'm curious what the picture is. What you think it is, based off of.
Well, for me, the picture is make passive income so that you don't have to rely on a corporate job, and you don't have to rely you don't have to go work a ton of man hours. You know that you have that income coming in, or somewhat near that income. It doesn't have to be perfect every month, but you know, that to me is the picture.
I guess, like, you know, this is a thing that Defi alluded to as well. It's something that I've pushed over here, is just like, okay, I have affiliate links. You know, I don't need to directly sell people anything, right? But in order to really capitalize on that, either you need to be pushing stuff that's like really, really high dollar spend. You know, for instance, if I was trying to sell mattresses to people all day, then I can make like $150 per mattress I sell. And that's.
But it's like, what do they come to your site for? Are they looking for mattresses? You know, that's the point.
No, yeah. So then you need to build up like a mattress site. You know.
And people do that.
Want to compete in that vertical.
They used to call it black SEO, where you would go in and target these specific categories, become the top of Google, and just wait a couple months and just take in that income.
Yeah, and people still do this.
Yeah, it's still a thing because you can still make money off of it. You just create a simple site. It could be WordPress or Shopify. It's called Shopify. Just throw it on up, give it a simple domain, make it searchable, just get it and make it focused on one thing. I sell pens. Oh, great! I can get a pen from you.
Yeah, you know, and it's the thing is, I've never really been. I played with moving physical inventory in the past, right? And now I've talked about it before. I'm sick of it. Just handling goods, it really sucks unless you're doing it in bulk, and you know you're the guy that's doing bulk, and then you just move it to a couple of distributors. Then that's not nearly as bad, right? Because now you're dealing with your margins might be small, but you're dealing with pretty big dollar amounts. And that's kind of fun, right? You don't have to. I would not enjoy breaking bulk, you know, because that's just this daily grind of. All right, I bought a warehouse full of stuff from China, and now I've got to dump it, and other people are also getting in on that same market. So a lot of the e-commerce startups, I don't like. You know, I personally wouldn't get involved with it.
It's not even that. I mean, business is buying goods and selling them at a higher price, or buying goods and making them and selling them at a higher price. That's all business is.
Yeah.
You're just taking one thing and selling it somewhere else. I mean, bulk buying might be a good idea. Like my wife and I looked at buying shirts from China, t-shirts for 68 cents each. Got to buy like a couple thousand of them, but then tie-dyeing them and selling them online because they're patterns and they're unique and they're all different. We talked about it a couple times. But the shirts market is actually really hard to get into, so that's why we haven't.
Yeah, I hear you. Brandon's suggesting that, Yeti, if you'd work with me, I have 10 websites we can boot up for businesses with a vision/direction. I'll come on with you. And I've got a whole bunch of visions too, man.
But you guys
trouble.
never
It comes
work.
back to the
I
very.
think that's the point. He doesn't want to do the
No. I'm happy to do work, right? But the thing is, like, I absolutely need at this point in my life to be doing work where I'm directly compensated in exchange for my time, at least a portion of it, right? And then I can do some portion that's just like, okay, here we're building towards the future, right? Trying to build something that what you call the passive income.
Yep.
Because without the money coming in, the immediate money coming in, then I end up in a really bad spot. You know, like I've been in a fucking nosedive for. I was running the numbers, looking at my employment history, because I've been trying to clean up my professional profile, right? And I haven't earned a paycheck. The last paycheck that I received was for work that I delivered in May of 2016. No, it's been a long time.
Why is everyone so opposed to a traditional job?
I don't know. I think because there's something maybe in this time and age, the entrepreneurship has there's a certain sexiness to it. Everybody wants to be a founder of an organization. Anyways, AI wants to get in on this call too. Is it okay if
Sure, invite him. Yeah, and I'm not opposed to a traditional job. I have a traditional job. I just understand that you have a limit.
Whoops. Wait. Sorry. Can you speak again?
Sorry, keep me out there.
Yeah.
But,
my bad, man.
I'm not against a traditional job. I think that it's a good thing to have. It's just I know that there's a limit. I can only make so much money before I get cut off. Like you're not gonna go to my job and say, hey, I want $250,000 a year. You're gonna give me that at age 30? Like they're not gonna do that for me. Nobody's gonna do that for me.
No,
I mean, with passive income, I can get there though.
No matter what, you have to deliver massive value in order to get compensated well for your time, right?
Yeah, you're not paid on. I mean, you get some payment on performance, but you're not paid on true performance. Like if I save the company like $500,000 a year, I'm not getting that $500,000.
No, of course
the company is, and I'm probably going to get my same paycheck.
Yeah, of course not. You might make a little bonus. They might bump you like a couple grand, but
and that's how companies work. You're working for them. You're not working for yourself.
Right. It's not the actual your rate is not dictated by the market so much as it is by whatever organization you're with. And sometimes they do more or less a better job at trending with the market.
And I mean, I have this conversation with a lot of people like about passive income, and many of my tech friends, they have passive income. It's just we don't have the time to build the things we could build. We have all the experience, we just don't have the time, and we're at a certain comfort level with our income. So it's hard for us to I'll quit my job and I'll go start a site.
Yeah. And that again goes back to leveraging other people's time, because at that point you have the money. All you need is a good group of folks that you can reliably outsource to, right?
And the problem with that, most of my projects, because I'm in tech, are tech related, and I know how much a tech related person gets paid, and then it's like, well, I got to give up my paycheck to pay somebody else.
No. Okay, so then the problem you're facing there is because you're only considering people that are in the United States, but you have to remember that the coding is a fungible skill. Right.
It's international, but you have to also expect the quality of code and lack of documentation based off language gaps, etc. It depends like what you're building and how you want it to be built.
Yeah. So you, as the visionary of this thing, as long as you're able to very clearly define your vision, then you can hand it off to some other people out in Eastern Europe or in Asia, and they can happily work on this project during their working hours. And you can have round the clock operations with it. It's not outside of the realm of possibility.
And I've contracted a couple people outside of United States before. There's some countries where like $700 goes a long way, US dollars that is, goes a long way, and I'm shocked. I feel guilty for giving them like that kind of amount for a lot of work, because it's like you should give them.
Yeah, but they're the ones that are offering it up. They're probably getting paid less if they're actually tied to an organization. Anyways, I need to take a quick bio break. Be right back.
But, so what do you do? Getty's friend.
Me? Oh, I'm a software engineer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, can't you like outsource? I use Upwork.com to do that.
Yeah, there's lots of outsourcing. I actually have friends who live overseas, and I've outsourced before. It's not too terrible. I mean, there's a lot of language gaps, and there are people who know a whole lot, but a lot of people on those sites, they're not as good as I would expect them to be.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean,
I run into the same problem.
I have the best experience because I know development, just offering share revenue, like, oh, you'll get 10% of whatever you build. And it works out a whole lot better. I'll provide funding. I'll help you build it. I'll tell you the vision, and you build it. And then after it's built, or even like a partial, here, you get 10%, and then I'll also give you $4,000 when it's done. Okay, good deal.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know if you're here or not.
He went to the restroom.
It's got to create like a system, and then anything you can outsource, and then just build the contracts and the documentation. And as long as it's repeatable, using that documentation, you can just subcontract it, but overseas, and they work $5-10 an hour entry level. But you got to get the right one.
As I was saying, I have a buddy. I can't remember what country he's in. I think it's Lithuania or something like that. He was telling me that $700 a month USD is what he makes. So like you give him that's a month for him. He'll work the whole month.
Oh yeah. Philippines is good for English speaking. India is good for tech. You're talking about, I think, with the margins. Yeah, I mean, even digital marketing is what I do. You can earn 10 to 30% margins, and it compounds per project. It's not per year. So I mean,
yeah, it's even better.
Mm-hmm. You just got to do the proper lead gen and set the system up, which is, I mean, it's a lot of work, but.
But it's that initial work. Once you have all that set up, you're good.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, the contracts and marketing is called a push or pull. Pull meaning you pull them, or you pull clients to you. You like do SEO, blogging. Pull or push, you call them. You do like outbound. So, but the pulling of it's hard. All that writing. But it's a lot of work. Yeah. So
I couldn't do sales. That's something that's so hard for me.
Yeah, and the network too. I actually don't prefer sales. I prefer more just project managing operations myself.
Networking I could do because I could talk about stuff, but as soon as you're like, let's sell something, people get over on me every time.
What do you think of IT though? Replacing entire markets, replacing the middleman with the platform? Kind of like what Uber or Airbnb did.
I mean, just imagine, so I work in manufacturing IT, so just imagine what that's doing. We have so many stats, like, for example, there's a company near us that is, as a pill company, completely automated. They could tell you every single pill, when it was made, how it was made, what went into it, where it went, etc., who it was sold to, every individual pill, because we have that many stats now. And the whole plant's automated. They got 2 people who work there. They're engineers. They're just like, oh, it's working. Is it working? It's working. Talking about pushing out several billion pills every single day. Nobody ever touches it. Completely automated. I mean, and that's where our country is slowly going to. Completely automated plants like that. I mean, I believe Tesla has one too for their cars.
Big paradigm shift too.
I mean, and you've got to look at like all the stats they have. If I can tell you exactly where that pill was made and how it was made and what went into it, I can tell you a defect and a recall. Oh, I save so much money because I don't have to recall everything. I just have to recall the exact ones that were flawed, and I can tell you what they were. And I can probably even catch it before it goes out because of all the data we have now.
Wow, yeah. It's huge. It goes into every department too. So,
guys, I hate to, okay, I need help. I'm the poor guy of the group. I need to start earning.
Yeah, I could use a maid. So I'm just kidding.
Let me ask you this. I mean, you're not going to be happy until you do your own business. What business do you want to do?
I've got a handful that I want to spin up. And
IT. you need to have high level IS or ISO. You got to have like security in place.
Yeah, but I'm not even focusing on that yet, dude. Because it's until I have the stability, I'm not even gonna bother. Okay, like I'm happy to put all of the shit that I want to work on the back burner, and some of it other people are gonna beat me to it, and it's okay, right? I
have a list of 100 leads you can call for websites. You call them; they're all worth $1,500 plus.
Okay, and
if you do website building for them, and those are pre-made leads already qualified.
I mean, on the IT aspect, we have a company around here who literally sells WordPress sites. $1,500 for quote-unquote custom building it, and then a $60 to $75 a month fee to host it and run it and maintain it, and then if you want the SEO package, which is literally just typing in meta keywords into WordPress, it's like an extra $100 a month.
There's a lot more into it, though. I mean, WordPress for the business owner, because you can't do a custom back-end admin panel. It's just a lot. And two, you got to integrate everything. Their email marketing, their social media. There's a lot of integration.
Oh, all that is literally one click. You can do all of that stuff in one click with auto deploy. They I remember someone I was talking to. They were trying to sell them on WordPress.
What is auto deploy? Yeah.
It's auto deploy is I have a script that automatically sets up the whole site for me.
I like that idea.
There's so many.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you have to custom, just add everything. I mean, by myself, I just copy and paste layouts. Well, I'm getting to that point. I only done a few sites, but over time it'll just be, just repeatable skill stuff. But, yeah. There's still a lot to it. Branding, colors, just fonts, everything. But I don't know if it would be worth the money. Those custom sites are worth like $10,000 plus.
Yeah.
The amount of work that goes into it. Unless you're doing like a custom Amazon, eBay. I mean, why would you do a custom? For a business owner who can't even use a website to begin with. Play and just they need to edit their pricing, they can do it.
You've got big businesses who run on WordPress and these. What's that other one that they were using? Magento. They run off these sites, and they're billion-dollar businesses. They don't have their own custom sites.
Yeah, the editing is on the fly. CMS software is built in. I mean, the plugins can do everything. They're one cost away from owning one. That coding, though, you gotta have an IT guy, on payroll just to do it. But I don't know if it's worth the money. I think so. Ours start at $14.99, but that's a very basic one, 5 pages, but everything's included. So 4 to 6 weeks, it can be fully done. Rapid prototyping.
Sorry, just catching up on the chat comments here.
I can get you on this marketing stuff, but I got to finish a couple things with this website before I start scaling on, and then bringing on salespeople. I've been trying to do it for a month now, but I'm always backlogged with work. If you can do contracts, but you'd have to ramp up on contracts. I mean, if a client wants more than one service, you're going to have to do what the client wants, and then I'll have to put you as a dedicated account representative. You're pretty much the liaison between me and the client, but it's a way to build, your own client base too. And you can keep everything with the contracts minus the 25% for the company, and that 25% covers the taxes and everything else. So.
Oh no, Yeti, we're being called out in chat. A full stack developer is somebody who understands full stack, front end and back end technologies. Desktop support is basic support ticketing and fixing basic bugs, and sometimes they'll do viruses, but very unlikely. Data analytics is managing big data and giving reporting. Python is a scripting language that has been extended to be a little bit more than that. I use 2.7, but 3.4 is also out. SQL is to manage data. I prefer no SQL, and yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And I definitely have done all these things, and I've struggled a whole lot in my life. I just play it very cool. Sorry about that, guys.
That's good.
You don't need to back up. I think the people who really call it out are the ones who don't. If they can't do it all, but it's hard, man. Whatever you do, if you go into business for yourself too, it's hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. So most of it you can't do, but you do it anyway.
Wow, salty. Anyway, yeah, I agree. Yeti, you just really have to decide if you want to go work for somebody else or, get into business for yourself. And I think you won't be happy till you're in business for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, no. Ultimately, I'm always going to want to build something on my own, or with a team, because it's you only have so many hours in a day.
The money you need, I would consider service type work, and I consider something where you can work from the internet from and leverage VAs, as opposed to a job where you're in an office. You can't use VAs then. I mean,
no, you can't. And
if I worked sales, I'd hire 4 sales, overseas salespeople to do lead gen for me. I'm not going corporate, but if you want that route, yeah. So I would leverage VAs, whatever you do, and service is usually quicker on payment.
Yeah. Shit.
Do you do JavaScript, Johnny?
Yeah, that's correct. I've worked with JavaScript on the front end a whole lot. I'm familiar with ECMA Script 6. Just read that all. Actually, 8's out now, but
can I have you hop on this IP thing here? Or, sorry, not IP, this website. I got a question for you. I have 3 buttons. I'm trying to hide and show a data chart. I asked Yeti about this. Do you know how to do that? Like hide show? It's on a WordPress platform.
Oh, I haven't touched WordPress in a long time. I was going to ask if you were using jQuery right away, because you could literally it's .show or .hide.
I'm booting it up in jQuery, if that works. I don't know. I've been stuck on this, but I actually paid a VA to write this JavaScript. It's not working for me, but maybe I'm not tagging the CSS IDs correctly. I don't know.
Business analyst? Is that what you hired?
No, just a coder.
Oh, okay. When you say BA, I think business analyst.
Oh, BA, yeah. Virtual assistant.
Fuck.
You'll figure it out, Yeti. You're smart, though. Yeah.
Plus, you've got people who know what they're talking about, so
it was a nightmare growing this company. I'm still not getting paid enough yet. But, it's a lot of work. So whatever you do, you just gotta grind long hours. Especially if you have your own company, you got to do every single task. So
yeah, that's true.
Are you privately funded, AI?
I bootstrapped with 7,000 when I began. I ran out pretty quickly. I have student loans. It's just, it's running me. But I'm actually, the system's what I care about, and the system's built almost. So that is when I'll start scaling with project managers and salespeople, and contractors mostly.
You're selling a web platform, right?
Sorry? What about a web platform?
You said you're selling a web platform?
No, I do digital marketing. Here, I can link you the site.
Yeah, link me the site. Feel free to put it in this chat. Thank you.
So I have to do this overhaul, and if you check under SEO services, I have to do one thing for this. I already have all the data charts done though, so I gotta upgrade those. But yeah, before I just lead gen without much of a digital presence. My conversion rates showed, it wasn't as good as I'd hoped. So more work than I got, and that push and pull for marketing. I need to do more writing and SEO as opposed to just emailing out and stuff. So Network smarter, work smarter.
Sorry, just reviewing the site. Give me a moment.
Yeah, no problem. It's not much on there, but the operation side of it is looking really good. So I just got to make digital presence part of it, social medias and all that, and should be good to go then. I'm thinking of rebranding too, new logo before I do it, and just overall, like, more enterprise type of company than, it looks like a startup, I suppose.
You know what I love about this? Yeah, your site, with just like a lot of other sites who are selling stuff, you guys have all this stuff that like is the same thing, but it has a different acronym, or keyword to use. So you guys really sell on that. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm referring to, right? I'm not going to point it out so that nobody else notices, but there's a couple of them that are pretty good.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, you can't. How unique can you really go this day and age?
But what's great about it is, like, just because of how long this document is, it looks like you guys provide so much.
Oh yeah. A lot of that stuff, whatever. I mean, the client, it's, I guess, what you give them, but.
I think I read an HTML schema somewhere, and I'm like, well, you can't have a website without HTML, so.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use XHTML or XML, but those aren't really the standard of the current web.
Yeah, well, that's part of sales too. I don't know. I guess you got to include it, because if they don't have it, you do got to give it to them, but usually they will have it. So you see under SEO services, those three buttons, they're meant to hide and show data charts. Like the three of them, there should be 5 listed, but the top 3 should be a hide or show sort of thing, depending on what buttons click. Man, I've been trying to do that for ages. I don't know.
All right, look, okay. You wanted to show a data chart, huh? Let me look at your code here. Syntax error. Ooh, custom.js 5.
Wait, what happened?
I'm looking at your code.
Oh, here, I have the code here. JavaScript.
Yeah, you have it minified, so if you have the exact code, that'd be better.
Yeah, I posted it.
That's so much better. Can't read it minified.
I'll just drag the text file. So I load that up in jQuery under a bootable. It's like a plugin for JavaScript, right? And it's under the jQuery section. So now
the framework.
So I got to make 3 versions of this for 3 buttons, apparently, right? But I mean, if there's a better way to code it, I mean, I'm all for it.
Well, I already know that it's throwing a syntax error, so I'm going to look up that real quick. Let me just open it up in Visual Studio Code.
But if I could solve this, the sooner I could actually get Yeti money too. So I've been stuck on this because I have to I have to copy and paste this page to like every other page for the same style of it. So
you guys aren't using like partial views or layout forms or anything like that?
No.
Oh, it's WordPress, so probably not. Right? You said it was WordPress?
No, yeah. I'm not a coder. I wish I was, but I can read code. I just can't write it.
I write code all day.
Oh, so you're more than welcome to hop on here. I told Yeti, I have no problem giving him the contracts, like the full amounts minus the profit margin portion to cover taxes. So, but these clients, you know, they're monthly and they're aiming to go, you know, years. So the transition from quitting one of these contracts, I'd have to replace him because right now, like I have way too much work. So an additional like contract not being worked on.
This code is written wrong. It's not written right at all.
Well, that's what the VA did. You know, they're entry level.
Let me see if I can turn on screen share here. Hey, go ahead, look at this. All right, so we'll walk through this real quick for you. This guy right here, you've got my function 3, which that's bad naming convention to begin with. But you're getting the elements by ID. If you're using jQuery, you can actually write, just so you know, you can write these like this. So var x equals this, and then the ID. Go back down here.
Could you, do you want to just hop on this thing and just edit it real quick? And I don't know how you do it, but here.
Sure. But like, you can just do that if you're using jQuery. See that? Just get rid of that whole thing. But that's not even what's wrong. That's fine. This is going to work fine up here. What's wrong is he's setting triple equals, and that's a check to see if these two things are equal.
Yeah. And
then return true or false. What he meant to do is this, just one equal sign. That's like a super basic mistake. But that should fix that right there. But I'm trying to see if there's other mistakes, because it looks like he's using a text variable instead of a true-false variable. Like my bad. He's using a text, instead of a true-false.
Hey, do you want to just? I posted a login. Do you know how to actually use this? Like, do you know how to? Here, I can show you.
I've used WordPress in the past. It's just been a while.
All right. I'll actually give you the 2 links here, and I'll tell you how to do it. Yeah, they don't log on that, please. And I'll actually owe you one for this, so anytime you have questions on marketing, just give me a call.
Give you a call and I'll harass you about marketing. That's the login and password?
Yeah, login and password.
The password you entered for the username is incorrect. Let's try again. I might have copied it wrong. Yeah, I copied it wrong.
Yeah, there was a space.
All right. You see on the left, custom CSS and JS. So you go under custom JS. That's where you enter the JavaScript, okay?
I see it. Yeah, custom JS. That's JavaScript.
Yeah, it's how it injects it, I suppose, in WordPress sort of thing. So, I deleted it. Now it should be.
Oh, you deleted it, so it's empty. I see it. There's nothing here.
So under the jQuery, what you were talking about, you put it your code in here, and then you go to the SEO services page. Here. And then you should be able to edit using edit like for Visual Builder. Once you go into Visual Builder, you should be able to just highlight everything or highlight the things, and the gray portion is going to be, if you highlight the buttons, and then you just go to edit, like at the top you should have like an edit.
Hide this notice. All right. Oh, I see you forgot a couple things there. Let's just go.
You get what I'm trying to do? There's the first 3 data charts are the first 3 buttons. By default, I want standard to show, but then if they click local or e-commerce, I want the other 2 to show, and then the other ones to hide. So.
Oh yeah, I can do this. Give me 1 second. I gotta use restroom, and I'll get to it.
And Yeti, you there?
Yeah.
So, look, once your friend here, which is awesome, if he's able to do this, I'll owe him one. And, hey, I can start lead generating for you. If you look at the contracts here, if you do want the work and you don't want to go work a corporate job, take take on a client, do 1 to 2 services with them. That should give you more than enough money, and you can start ramping up, and then you can start outsourcing and learning how to outsource at scale. So, does that work for you?
I can try.
Okay. You keep 75% of it, and then you pay the outsourcing whatever you pay them. It'll take some time to optimize this, but if you can optimize it pretty well, you can do it at scale, and eventually you can take on multiple contracts at scale, and eventually you just give it to the VAs to do everything, and you just pocket whatever margins are left. And that's the same thing you want to do with your IT company or whatever you want to do. And, any type of business I could help you with too later down the road. So you got to let me know. But once the system's set up, it should be good. So.
All right, so this is your site right here. Let's just check something real quick.
Make sure you're logged in for Visual Editor. So you can highlight those buttons and then.
So it doesn't look like you have. It doesn't look like you guys have jQuery installed, so that's something. No big deal.
Oh, maybe you have to install, but I have the custom CSS and JS. I haven't finished the site yet, so.
All right. Let me just make sure I'm doing this correct as well. I don't want to add it to the whole site, just a single page. No. I just added the whole site for now, but just making sure. So anytime you use a button with that name. Oh, am I getting a phone call?
Johnny, if you could do this, oh my gosh. I've been stuck on this for a month now. I tried outsourcing it a couple of times, but web dev and coding is not the areas I specialize in.
I do specialize in coding, so it's no problem. I just was trying to see if I could add this to a single page. In front of where in the site, on my own page. Interesting. All right.
You do know how to, or you know how to edit it, right? Or
No, I'm doing so now. See?
sorry, go ahead.
I said I'm doing it right now. If you're watching.
Oh yeah, I'm watching. Cool. I thought you would do it, or there was a different way to do it. So I just don't want you to waste your time. I don't know, doing it some.
Oh, I can do it in here too.
Oh, okay. I just appreciate you doing this. If I could save you the time to do it right.
Oh, if I'm gonna do it right here, I'll install jQuery for you too. Let me make sure that's installed. It's not even an install. It's literally just a reference.
Awesome.
Just gonna make sure that there's no custom way to do it on this frame.
Might just be under plugins. So.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for on the side. Just making sure it's not already installed. Activity. Oh, you got tons of them already installed.
Yeah. I was gonna clean it up after, but.
Where is my search box? Is there not a search? All right, whatever. Just scroll down. Doesn't look like you have it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, Bootstrap. Lisa, yeah. You need jQuery to run Bootstrap properly.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and get it. Dude, whatever you think, really. Appreciate it again doing this. So amazing seeing a software guy work too. Sad, man.
Yeah, I read pretty quick too. So that's why you noticed I just read that whole article when I scrolled through it.
Your eyes don't hurt after long days.
No, I keep myself busy with usually Rubik's cubes and fidget spinners and that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. All right. What are the inactive? Okay. Oh, there. I love how this part has a search box, but the other part doesn't.
Yeah, you can customize your backend eventually if you want to do that. But all that WordPress stuff.
There should be. I mean, I could just copy the link, right? Where the heck is the editor? Does it be pretty make it right as you plug in WordPress? Understand. Now we're just going to test it because I kind of think that it might be. I don't usually code this way.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say with the coding to edit like CSS for the different or the IDs, you could just go and right click using Visual Editor. You right click the buttons. If we're editing that way, it's not gonna, it's gonna get overwritten, won't it?
I'm writing on my local machine first.
Oh, wait. All right.
Trying to keep up. It's okay.
Yeah.
What's this?
All right. I'm just making sure. Yeah, with the WordPress is weird because you gotta everything. It's like it's integrated within coding of WordPress.
I mean, WordPress is just PHP in the back end, so it's nothing fancy. So here I'm just writing three event listeners for these buttons that you have. And what's this button's name? I'm just going based off ID. I'm assuming you have jQuery, even though I didn't see it when I ran through that, and I can add it if you don't.
No, I don't have jQuery unless you added it.
I will add it if it doesn't work. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have a plugin that uses Bootstrap, so I would assume that it bundles it, and then you do have jQuery, but it wouldn't allow me to use this right here. It says it's not a function.
Well, the custom JS has jQuery in it, or is that not you need jQuery extra?
No, jQuery is its own framework. It's separate. It just has a comment.
How do I add that?
It just has a comment about jQuery. jQuery is you can get it directly. You just have to link to the jQuery file, the JS file, and they have a CDN on their site.
Do I gotta hop on the FTP of the server?
No, you don't have to do any of that. At least you shouldn't have to. You should be able to do it directly through WordPress. But hold on, let me write this real quick. Oh, look at this guy right here. Who's this guy?
He's smart. Yeah, he figured all this stuff out. Whatever he does, all of this stuff's a lot of work. Systems, but once the system's in place, you can scale those things.
Oh, don't need that. Oh, need this. Is this a live site, right? This is just your development copy.
Live.
Yeah, it's all live. Brandon.
I mean, it's online, but you're not actively accepting business through it right now, right?
No, I mean, they call me if they do, but I actually don't get calls to the business, so
Brandon.
not through that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, not yet. You're not engaged in some marketing to get people over to your site yet.
No.
Yeah, you don't.
What I do suggest when you get bigger and you have a site like this, you should have a development version and a production version, and then be able to roll them together.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to make a change on your production version and break your whole site.
For sure.
How would you do that? Because what I do for clients is I boot up a clone and then I just like copy and paste it, like just another EC2.
I'm not familiar with how you would do it with WordPress because I wouldn't do that for a WordPress site. Usually what we have is one-click deployment set up, and then we have a staging environment, and then we have it automatically published to the production server at a specific time on a specific date from the staged version.
Cool. Yeah, in WordPress you can schedule like updates, and then usually if they're updating pages, I just clone the page on another WordPress, and then I just set the I just copy and paste the page over after I do quality control. So I guess sort of the same thing you're doing. Yours is more efficient though. Yeah, I'll boot up another WordPress. I just hate to pay for another server monthly, or unless you can run like locally, But
I don't see the chart on this page.
So, all right. So there's 3 pages. Hold on here. So the standard is the first chart.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing any charts correlating to these buttons at all.
Oh, it's
the code is broken to begin with, but I don't see any charts.
All right, the top one is the first one, and then there's local SEO. If you go down, scroll down.
Oh, you mean these?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay. So the grids.
The grids, yeah. Actually, if you're a visual editor, you should be able to just edit it to get the CSS ID. You know that? Will doing it your way break the coding though?
What I'm doing right now? No, I'm just doing client-side edits.
Because if you you can like edit it. I don't know if you're here.
I'm not on this one. I'm not, but I do have it open on the visual on the other screen. It's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One of these I have a visual.
Yeah, highlight it and then just click like the wheel, like the settings wheel.
Well, right now I'm just in just client-side editing mode, so I can do stuff like this. I won't edit your site at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm just making sure what you're going to do, if it's going to get overridden or not, or if you put it in the correct way with CSS IDs through like their own, editing way, then I'm sure it'll work. I'm going to copy and paste it.
So what I'm doing now is, I'm not even editing anything quite yet. I'm just, so what we're going to do is, I'm just setting it up. I'm just writing the code with it on my own personal computer, and then what I will do is upload it once it's done for a test, and it should be fine. This is easy code to write. Now what am I doing?
Okay, I'm gonna bail for now and try to focus on my own situation.
All right, Eddie, if you need help, give us a call.
All right, take care. No, I mean, it's just, they're just asking questions back and forth, and it's really not that bad of a problem. Brandon was just trying to make sure that these changes would get pushed to the actual site, and what Johnny was doing was just focusing on ensuring that it worked locally first before propagating the push. So he'll, verify everything's working and then make the push. Anyways, most recently I haven't been broadcasting. I've just been, for the most part, the days go by quite slowly. I've been sitting around and just trying to question to myself what I can do in order to make an effective trade of my time for money. And it doesn't have to be a lot to start. If it's not a lot, then you know, ideally, I still need some time to build up real skills. I need to build up some real skills to just keep on being able to make that more and more effective a trade. And it's fuck. That's where I'm at. Because I know that what I do is just Yeti Eater is so far away from getting to any point where there's enough reach to actually sustain just off of this like very limited affiliate marketing revenue. I need to have active income. I need to make some active income. I've been panicking. Like I know the situation I'm in has just been a nosedive for the past while. And here I am, like, I'm imposing some requirements. And I don't know if it's gonna work out. Like, of course it's gonna work out. Ultimately, it has to. I'm not gonna allow myself to crash. I can't. But I don't want to make a suboptimal decision here. And it's there are trade-offs. There's so many trade-offs. If I invest more time in a Yeti Eater, the advice I've been given so far has just been to call everything. The advice, you know, from like my uncle who's in the corporate world, my father in the corporate world, they both are advising that I just go ahead and call it. And you know, like not just call, I mean make it disappear. You know, present a nice, fresh, clean start. Part of me wants to make that jump. Just say, okay, that's what we'll do. You know, because I recognize it's the easy means to stability. The other part is, you know, still so. Right now, I'm just paralyzed, which is no good. The job search is a job in and of itself, and you hear this all the time. I feel like I'm this 29-year-old blank slate. I've got some experience. I still don't know what my credentials are worth, if anything. And it's all just like, kind of want to throw my hands up. So maybe now I'm not quite ready. Considered that if one of the priorities is to go obtain portable income, then in the short term, because of my limited hard skills, the ones that are desirable from remote workers' perspective, like the programming, then I'm in a bad spot. So one option on the table is to go back to school. But like I also, maybe I know too much. I don't know. It's a weird spot. It's a weird spot I find myself in. This is the thing I hate that I have. I hate to put things on hold. I was looking back over some old content and just remembering to myself how excited I was that I was right on the cusp of being able to book that round the world flight. And I still have the points just sitting there. They're sitting there, they're waiting. And you know, I pulled back from that decision because I looked at the timing that the first availables, and I said, well, there's not enough time for me to get the passport. There's too much I need to do here. I've got 3 years to use that up, but who's to say that the people on the ground I want to go see are going to be around in 3 years? And entering into the corporate world, it'd mean that I lose a lot of freedom. An awful lot of freedom. Now, I've been heading down this path for a while. It's not just Yeti Eater. In the past, I tried spinning up some little projects on my own. And they've not produced nearly enough, because the model that I've been going off of is, it's not to offer a service. It's usually just skimming through affiliate marketing, and that's so I shouldn't be surprised that Yeti Eater as a project hasn't awarded me nearly enough for the time, because I'm not selling service. You know, if you sell services here, then you can make really good money, especially doing as Brandon does, which is to outsource, right? And Brandon, I'll talk to you about some of my concerns, specifically in regards to jumping over to working with you. Anyhow, going back to basics, the project Yeti Eater, because the monetization strategy for it requires, I can always tweak the monetization strategy, right? But because it requires this massive volume, it's just not going to happen yet. No. I can take whatever I have right now, whatever I've already made with Yeti Eater, and try to get it out there. See if I can pump it, but it's tiny. This is tiny stuff. You know, until you've got in the influencer game, until you've got reach to 1 million plus people, you have pretty much nothing. You're just small. GoFundMe? No, that's not what I should do. Jelly Scott, it's not what I should do. The right thing to do is to cut my losses and instead turn around and go reinvest back into skills, taking up whatever positions are necessary, whatever grunt work is necessary, you know, because I'm missing something. You know, I know I'm missing something as far as this big game goes. I think it's a good part of it is that I even talk about going back to school. It's even though I already have a degree, a technical degree, it's to say that the skills that I've got, I recognize that the specific businesses that I want to spin up don't really benefit from my own former schooling and training. Those were helpful in establishing a way of looking at problems, but they don't allow me to get down and do the nitty-gritty. So you want people to do the nitty-gritty, you gotta pay them. You gotta pay them to get the work done. And my play, what I want to find out is if my credentials, this Bachelor's of Science in Petroleum Engineering from 2011, still have any value. I've been out of traditional work for a while. I've hopped around. And I'm at this point just nervous, scared. More or less in a position similar to where I have been. You know, knowing something built up upon this weak foundation is no good. So we'll see what I can do. I don't know yet. I know that if I take some steps, I can get things going in the right direction. I guess I'm nervous about where to put my feet first. Rad Peanut, hello. Finding 6 passports of Saudi nationals. I don't know. No idea. Just try to avoid the conspiracy theories. Yeah, I wrote this post and I pushed it over to my LinkedIn network and on Facebook, my private accounts, personal accounts. And I spoke with my uncle about it, and he caught his eye, caught my father's eye too. I'm like, look, what's the tone you're trying to convey here? What do you think people are going to interpret it? I was just being honest. I need to build up something. It could be, you know, it's too frightening, I feel, without having some layer of stability, some degree of stability. Like, if I'm making good money, I can keep my belt tight and I can pay to make problems go away. But if I'm not making good money and things implode, it's there you are. And then if at the end of the day I haven't developed myself so that I can pick myself back up fast, then it's again going to be a long, slow grind. So yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking. You can't win the lotto if you don't play. Hype, do you mean playing this content creator game? The broadcaster game? What game are you talking about? Yeah, bong rips for Satan. I just haven't. I didn't go too deep into the 9/11 conspiracy theory. Take chances, my friend. But bong rips for Satan. You asked what's your day job. I haven't had a day job in a long time. The last day job that I held, the last time I was getting paid for work, it was work I delivered at the end of May 2016. Remote help desk. Really, really basic work. And I was getting paid quite handsomely to do it because it was during that organization's squeeze that they had. They were in a bind. I was able to help them out. But the actual skill set that I was using out in the open market is worth very little. It's worth very little. You're talking like really low-level IT help desk work. And I've looked a little bit into the IT career track. Every career path is long. And has many, many skills to obtain. And on top of that, the whole job search process, fuck man, it's a doozy. It's a real doozy. I could, today my initial plan was to show up, gonna have coffee, maybe read, and then just say, okay, that's it. And go out and just see who's hiring locally. Bongers for saying, how much do you have in your bank account? When you count for this debt that I have as well, I'm pretty much at zero, which is why I'm like, it's not just right now. Like, if I don't shore up, actually generate some positive cash flow, I'm gonna end up in a really bad position in like come the tail end of February 2019. It's not gonna be fun. So I've got some time now. Julie, you're right. Just gotta go out there. How much for the long gun? Not for sale yet. Sell vapes, resell sucks. And hyped, no, IT is not, I'm not set on having to do IT. There's not one in the pipe, no. There's not, it's safe. You mentioned Draco before. Yeah, Juliana. Hyped. Houston, Texas. I'm in Houston, Texas. It's a decent city, you know, mega city. A lot of sprawl. Jobs are everywhere, but some of the ones, I don't want to have a shitty commute, you know. I gotta figure my shit out. Yeah, hyped. I have a petroleum degree, and Houston is the mecca of petroleum and natural gas. You are correct. But my degree comes from 2011. Genie, why don't I Uber a bit? My car is too old, and it's torn up right now. Plus the money there is really bad. Uber does not make good money. Like, I mean, fuck, even like that aside, it's my area doesn't have a whole bunch in a way of like stuff to do. I'm in the suburbs, so to really Uber effectively too, it's just not good. Figuring high in natural gas didn't degree at all. Gotta be a grown-up man. You said it, Julie. Take care, Julie Squad. And bongers for Satan. Fun when you've earned it. I think Julie's pretty much saying the right thing. Man. I just hate to think that like what my father and my uncle have said are right. And I mean, like I recognize they're right. If I want to go corporate, I'm gonna have to scrub a lot. I'm gonna have to do a lot of scrubbing. And that thought is really, really painful to me. Even though I recognize that what little I've done, or all the time I've invested in this, it amounts to so precious little. But fuck, you look at what does a successful full-time broadcaster look like? They're literally just living off of other people's financial contributions to keeping them afloat. It's not how I want to live. Even if the people are giving you something for next to nothing, the amount of value that they offer is really small. Most of them. The guys with the real big value, they tend to be doing speaking engagements. They can just go and do tours. They're like rock stars. And I was looking into the high ticket closing Dan Locke's program. Out of curiosity, I was on LinkedIn and I searched high ticket closer. I find quite a few of them. And some of them are, they're still looking for their influencer to latch onto. It's I don't know about all that. And I think if I read it right, what he's trying to move people towards is like, okay, you pay me some money, and I'll teach you some soft skills whereby you can position yourself. Hopefully you can position yourself effectively. And if you're successful in all of that, then you have the opportunity to call people who are interested in buying this stuff, and you might be able to close them on the phone. If you close them, you can get a pretty decent commission, because the things that they're paying for are like trainings that are, you're talking $3,000 and up. Just people that want to reinvent themselves and they're looking for a quick fix. So they go and listen to a professional speaker, personal development speaker talk, and they're willing to pay that much money. So if you can get people to convert over there, then all right, cool, now you've made something. But this, like, really, even those guys, a lot of them, I don't know how much value they truly offer. They have massive value built up in themselves. Huge amounts. Such that they just, by virtue of knowing so many people, having so many people wanting to work with them, they can build anything. They can sell so many widgets. And I thought I kind of wanted to do a thing like this too, but I didn't want to sell people rubbish. If there was something I wanted to sell people, it's like, here. There's a tried and true path. It works. And then, here's some opportunities that we can find. And I don't know. I mean, things that would help people, and it's a kind of a loser's game, going for the mass market and trying to hit universal needs that are really basic needs, trying to make the world a better place. I'm talking like charitable organizations. You want to get to that point, give it back, right, to a whole bunch of people. But in order to actually be able to be at that point and have it be sustainable, Jeannie, you asked about subletting a room, Airbnb. Again, location. Julie, no, bad Yeti. Stop looking for quick fixes in life. Yeah. Things be messed up. Got a robo-dialer call on my line. Just checking everything out. Yeah, it's fucked. Okay, hopefully it's working as it should. It looks like it's back. Good. Yeah, I mean, Julie, you're absolutely right in that taking up more responsibility does not mean having to give up on dreams. It just means that you have, like when we talked last, you're absolutely right. And this is something that I get, a recurring theme. You just have to be more focused on how you attack your dreams. And to that end, that's why I've really been stepping away from this broadcasting, because at this point, I don't feel I can give enough value. I don't know, I thought I had, like, I've given a bit, not enough. No, I'm gonna need to pick up some more experience. I'm gonna keep on needing to develop my hard skills. And then I'll be able to offer just a little bit more, and then it's crazy. It's legitimately crazy. You look at how the market is for this type of stuff. Anyways, enough. know, Julie. I don't know. I've seen and read a lot of stuff. I know a couple of things. Dunning-Kruger effect. We'd read about this. I'd read about this. You'd mentioned this in the past. Let me take another look. Similarities, parallels to like the iceberg principle. The thing is, and it's true, a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't have it, right? I just don't want to be in this position where it's okay, it's fucked. Okay. Just because you know everything doesn't mean that you're gonna succeed. Sometimes success doesn't come from knowing everything. It's about like being able to find the appropriate resources. It's all just problem solving over and over and over again, right? I think at a certain level of intelligence, it becomes quite easy to allow yourself to become paralyzed by fear. And I don't claim to be the smartest guy. You know, I've always said I'm slightly above average intelligence. Like I give myself that many points. But wow, like I look at what all is out there, and I've got to apply some pretty aggressive filters in order to really get it down to just the small set of things that I truly want to work on. Today, I should go ahead and move forward with figuring out that one big question. What's the viability of my actually getting back into the oil and gas industry with what I've got right now? If I'm willing to throw away everything that I've done as Yeti Eater, everything that I've actually thrown up as myself, which is, to me, it's a huge trade-off, you know? Like that represents such a tremendous trade-off. You start to understand why when people write realistic fiction instead of just real life. Because you put stuff out in real life, talk about too many real things, and you could get in trouble. Get to the point where nobody will touch you, even if you have nothing but the best intentions at heart, just because of what you've shown. You're just laughing at all. Keep saying throwing it away, but you're putting it on pause. And Julia gets it. It's about rebranding into something that can be managed alongside work. Something that's sanitized enough for the corporate world. And to that end, even though a lot of the content has been like the stuff that I've recognized I want to hold on to is these little pieces, you know. I'll work appropriate thought to your brain. Yeah. It's about delivering the message of slow and steady wins the race. Eliminate the jackrabbit starts. Just be consistent. That's the thing. Like, I truly believe in all of that. Live within your means, all of it. But I haven't practiced a lot of it. You know, because I've been like the people that already know this. The people that know it, they don't need to hear it from another guy. They already know. There's not much to be made there. There's a lot more to be made in selling people these big dreams, things that you might not be able to deliver upon. But you say, well, these results are not typical. You have to work super hard for it. Getting back into the corporate world could be a really positive thing for community people. Yeah. It'd be the story of the lost boy coming home. You know, it's where I wanted to go at the beginning. And it's a world that I turned my back on. And now I'm increasingly seeing that the time, what I've done with my time between then and now, like, I recognize it so painfully that I have not been able to acquire the hard skills necessary in order to really succeed in that world. In fact, in the broader world, that's the trouble with being a generalist. Great generalist, okay, that's good for certain environments. Maybe at day's end, that is, you know, it's what I wanted it to be. I wanted to cultivate myself into being a founder of something. I don't want to throw people's money away. I don't like substandard product. I like nice, good things. And I recognize that if you want to build good stuff, you gotta get good people, and that means you gotta pay top dollar. I know that we can deliver work. I can build up some outsourcing outfit and deliver some, you know, maybe borderline acceptable work, a bunch of it. And make a little cut on everybody whose work goes into it. I don't want that. But then, like, okay, so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. This road ahead. And things are becoming increasingly competitive out there. I think we all can recognize that. Not just in the space of broadcast. I mean, in every single business out there, every single industry. It's getting harder and harder. You've got to have massive technology on your side. I wrote that when I was growing up, I enjoyed working with computers and I liked designing and building them, you know. And these days I don't even really want to work on computers. But you can't avoid them anymore. They're ubiquitous. Brandon, you available to talk? I want to talk to you about your company. No. I don't think society teaches people how to problem solve. So everyone, everything you do. The thing is, I used to blast the corporate world too, and and recently when I wrote about it, I still called it the rat race. You know, and it's got a lot of inefficiencies to it. There's a reason why there's still space for newcomers. There's always going to be space for them. And so you want that. And the truth is, there are a lot of brilliant people inside of this organization that are solving really major problems. You also have the duds, a lot of duds too. And you wish that every single organization was built up in the right way, that they promoted appropriately, they hired appropriately. The level of inefficiency involved inside of the job searching process is otherworldly. Hyped. I'm worried about slowing down broadcasting, getting back into a job outside of streaming. Is my income dependent on broadcasting? Put it this way: the only that's pretty much the only real cash injections I've gotten, and I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted. I just got carried away. I got really carried away by this. And from the beginning, what I wanted was to focus more on just like building up an entity outside of the broadcast. And that's what I was working on at the start of the year. I froze. I didn't just like go and restart the effort, I just froze. And the reasons behind this are the multiple reasons. One, it's hard. It's hard to try to start something from nothing. It's really tough. But also because I started to fall in love with this. Just this. It was, like, there are people doing this full time. And after Parkland happened, and I watched my viewership counts booming, I thought, okay, well, who knows what the upper bounds on this are, right? In fact, maybe I can really leverage this as a means of developing into a public intellectual and build up massive influence in a really short period of time. And then, it could actually work out. And I tried, but I didn't do well enough of a job, and it's always this, like, coming back to this, when you want to be up here. Like, you gotta be way the fuck up here. That's not just for the sake of broadcast. I mean, that's anything that you want to do. You gotta be operating way the fuck up here. And it's going to be hard to get up here. You know, especially if I'm, like, what I'm looking at now is really low level stuff. And there's this really big uncertain area about where I can land myself. When I say when, to suggest the inevitability of it, but it's because increasingly it's looking like the best option, right? Is to just go jump back into the labor market. And you know, I've got a fair number of constraints that I'm imposing on my search. I want to be able to spend time with my parents, have dinner with them, be able to give my time freely to them. So I need a good paying job. Landing it's going to be a real fucking challenge. Like at this stage in my life, it's going to be a real challenge. And you know, I could build up, like one option is to build up some short-term work experience. To that end, today I looked at hardware stores that are down the street from where I live, within a few miles. I looked at the Best Buy after talking with Duffy last night, and I was thinking, oh, you know, I did apply to Best Buy before, maybe I can look there again. So looking at like retail postings, really low level, you know, it's a little grossly underemploy myself for a bit because I don't need a lot. I really don't need a lot. I don't know. In order to go on, but there's so much that I want to do. There's so damn much I want to do, so I recognize it's gonna take a lot of studying up. It's gonna take a lot of energy to get from here to there. You don't even have to work that hard at Best Buy though. You're right. The thing is, working in retail, because you're so disposable, you kind of pigeonholed into having to take really shitty hours. They want you to be available days, afternoons, nights, weekends. And I've seen a fair number of these like entry-level job postings that all expect that. You know? They want you to hire yourself out. Be available whenever. There's a reason why it's a starter job. So that kind of makes it a little tough. I don't mind waking up earlier. This dog, I figured that the one possibility for me to do this would have been okay. Coming up ahead on my calendar, I have in October a trip scheduled out to Denver. It's going to be seeing me there for 12 days. 12 days. So I figured that, okay, if I can immediately secure some work, really low level work, then I can, you know, like build up 3 months of consistent work experience. But here's the thing, that's really what my resume looks like. If you look at my work positions held over time, it's always been really short stints of work. Everything's just been like an internship. You know, it's been scattered all over the place. My energy's gone a bit of everywhere. Have you considered hiring yourself out? Maybe I ought to. I wonder what the platform is for that. No lie. In fact, the thing that came up, that he was saying that, hey, you can use OBS to broadcast out to Chatterbait. Gigolo? Yeah, something like that. Gigolo would be fun. You know, it could be fun. Not fun all the time, but occasionally you have a fun client. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to engage in anything that's illegal. I'm pretty firmly decided on that because I've lost my freedoms before. Yeah, albeit very temporarily. Had to go through the court system, and it's something I never want to repeat. I don't want to have to take other people to court, and I don't want to have to be taken to court. No fun. So the important message goes something like this. I'm proud of a lot of what's actually been retained for posterity across my channels. I felt that throughout this experience, even with the trolls, I never sought to go out and hurt anybody. You know, sometimes, like in the case of the conversation with NDS Talon, he ended up getting hurt. And it wasn't my intention. But aside from that one, like, you know, a shouting match because of some technical problems, I think I've conducted myself well here. And moving forward, I'm probably gonna have to seek, like, I've been stealing my resolve to go back to work because I can't keep living on like this. I've been allowing things to remain in this nosedive for long enough. I'm not getting any younger. Damn it, I'm 29 this year. If I don't pick things up now, I'm not gonna have enough years left to hit things on the safe and steady route. And there's still a lot that I want to do. I think as far as building up scalable businesses, I know where I'm going to try to stake my claim. It's going to require some support from folks on the ground, and it's going to take a lot of energy, but may be able to do some good things in that space. So I don't want to expunge everything. I don't want to purge everything. That's all part of my fabric. It's what led me to finally have to make this decision. You know, just that I'm too painfully aware. I need to go back. I need to go continue developing my skills. I can never let that stop. And over time, if I start figuring things out, maybe I'll be able to reintegrate broadcasting into my life, but in measured doses. We'll see. put too much time in and didn't focus enough on building my personal value. I thought some things and I experimented, but I didn't iterate fast enough. And I honestly, I have no idea how to win this game. You know, I tried implementing one strat, and like I said, I failed to move on to the next one. It's a tough game, a really tough game. The thing is, I've tried at times, when I've been feeling really low, most recently, to just cry. But I can't. Over this, I can't. Because I recognize my own failures. And how things are the way that, you know, like that's why it's at this point. This is why my life presently looks the way it does. And to build towards that vision that I have in my mind, it's gonna take a lot more sweat. It's gonna require keeping the blinders on. So things are evolving in constant flux, as they should be. I more or less have this foggy notion of where I want to land, but that's for the future me. So the steps between here and there, we'll see. We'll try to sketch things out. It's gonna take some time, but it'll get done. That's my bit. Gonna terminate Yeti version 2.0. We'll see what things look like when it reboots. Julia, I gave my father a nice hug last night. You know, I'm really grateful that I have the support network that I've got. But it's a double-edged sword. And sometimes in conversation with my parents, they talk about it. The question's like, you know, what if you didn't have us around? You know, like, what if we just cut you off? Yeah, I'd be forced to make some much bigger moves and take a lot more consistent action. Instead, I've been allowed to be comfortable, and that I've probably abused it too. I've abused my fair share of privilege. And that's why I want to stop. Like they're willing to, you know, pay for me to go to school and support me through that. I don't want to take them up on it. I need to figure things out, like I was cut off, but you know, I know I'm not. You know I'm not. It's more just trying to integrate things into a better state of balance. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for talking to me when I was last here, just staring out the window and kind of freaking out. You were right. You were right about quite a bit. You gotta bite the bullet. And this guy, Paul, you know, I always keep him in mind. It's been part of my reluctance to go and seek traditional employ. With any luck, maybe, I don't know. I was thinking that if I got a job working at a hardware store, I could allow him to just pass as a service animal and keep him on a fixed lead, you know? Because I've got the doctor's note, and he's most of the way there. It could be good training for him too, so that he'll really be able to pass. Yeah, I already marked the end highlight points. That's it. I'm pretty ready to just terminate it. Maybe it's just for now. Maybe my mood will shift tomorrow, but I know increasingly I gotta move away. Do what is right. I'll try C quotient. I'll try. Continue to try. Please explode. Yeah, we'll figure something out. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I really don't. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, C quotient. I'll keep your offer in mind. Again, I'm immensely grateful. That's it for the broadcast. At least for now. Peace.